Welcome to Smart Girl Philippines. I'm Irish, and the topic of today's short talk is 7 reasons I was afraid to date foreigners when I turned 19. Not too long ago, when I turned 19 years old, I went on my first date with a foreigner. To help you understand some of the fears that a Filipino might have when dating a foreigner for the first time, I wanted to share 7 of the actual things I was really afraid of. And let me give you a little warning. This is not the stuff that ChatGPT or other YouTubers are going to tell you. If you're new to my channel, then just a heads up. I tell things how they actually are, not how they should be. So let's get started. Fear number 1, size. I'm getting this out of the way first. Yes, size was a big fear for me. Foreigners from the United States as well as some other countries have a reputation of being large. And if you know anything about Asians, you know where. How should I say it? Tight? So this is actually a scary thing for me. And it's a scary thing for a lot of Filipinos. I didn't want to die. Now, do things kind of work themselves out and it's all good? Yes, but there are occasions where it doesn't quite work if you know what I mean. And that's just one of those things. So a Filipina might be really curious about your size because she might be a little scared. So just tell her you're part Korean and she won't be afraid anymore. Duty. Fear number 2, the R word. For some reason, I was afraid of being given some magical drug that would make me pass out and that some guy might take advantage of me. I don't know why I had this fear. It might have been from the news or from watching TV shows or movies. What if this happens? What if that happens? The good news is that this has never happened to me dating foreigners, but when I was younger, this was always in the back of my head, so my advice to foreigners is to don't be too handsy or try to get too physical on your first date. Let the Filipina do the driving and see how things go. Fear number 3, if he had a wife. So guys, this is a big one. It would be horrible if the guy has a wife, and even more horrible if the wife turns out to be a Filipina. I don't want to get unalive. So this is why Filipinos are always going to ask if you've been to the Philippines before or how long you've been in the Philippines. This is because we're all scared that foreigners are secretly married to someone in the Philippines. So if you tell a Filipina that you live here or this is your 17th trip here, all kinds of red flags are gonna be going off in our brains. For the majority of Filipinas, these questions are all about assessing the risk we're going to face in dating you. In case you're not aware, some Filipinos can be jealous psycho bitches. So that was a huge fear in the back of my head with any foreigner I went out with. Is some other Filipina gonna show up in person with a machete? Or am I gonna get some random Facebook messages from a psycho Filipina? Look you bitch, he's mine! Fear number 4, gossip. Honestly, I was worried about what my friends would say. I didn't want other people knowing my business. For me, I wasn't as worried as much about my family because I know they have my back. But it was more just gossip around the town where I live. We call it chismis or marites. But information here is valuable and can be dangerous. The less people know about your personal life, the better. I wanted things to be as private as possible. I didn't want everybody knowing my business. So, if a guy was a regular customer at the restaurant I worked at, he was immediately off the list. I didn't want to date foreigners who always seem to be lurking around because those are the guys that are usually a threat to a Filipina's privacy. And when I went on my first dates, an out-of-the-place restaurant in the back of the mall was much more preferable to a small cafe or restaurant right on the street in the middle of town where everyone knew me. Side note for a second. So this fear is really, I think, what drives most Filipinos to have 2 Facebook accounts. We'll use one for our personal life and one for dating. Because it is a little scary to give a stranger access to your entire private life when you add them as a Facebook friend. And this is kind of where it's not fair because most foreigners only have one Facebook account. But a lot of Filipinos have multiple accounts. So she's friending you to get all your information, but then you won't get any real info about her. Tricky, tricky. So, this is how Filipinas will try to be sneaky. So if a Filipina you're interested in dating tries to friend you on Facebook, do not accept her request. 9 out of 10 times, it's not going to be a good thing. Today, most Filipinas just lock their Facebook profiles because it's just easier that way. And just some inside info. They're not locking it so you can't see it. They're locking it so other Filipinas can't see it. Dumb bitches. Fear number 5. Expectations. I didn't know what the expectations of the foreigner would be on me if I went on a date with him. Here there is a courtship process, but a lot of foreigners want to show up and meet you and take you on a vacation right away. So that was scary for me. I had work and my parents and my friends and basically my life here. And I love the Philippines. So the thought of some guy trying to take me away from the Philippines to go live with him in the US or some other country made me afraid. So basically, just not knowing what a foreigner was expecting from me made me scared. Now that I'm a few years older, I'm better at knowing how to talk straightly and I'm better at sniffing out bullshit. No, I'm not going on a vacation with you after the first date. No, I don't want a fiancé visa after the first date. No, I'm not accepting an engagement ring from you after the first date. No, I'm not moving with you after the first date. But yes, I might watch Netflix and chill with you. So guys, don't scare off a good Filipina by trying to go too fast. The plane needs to get up enough speed on the runway before it can take off without crashing. So go slow. It's a crack pot, not a microwave. Fear number 6. Disrespect and abuse. So in the back of probably every Filipina's head is the fear that the guy is going to seriously disrespect their family and then be an abusive boyfriend or husband that holds us captive. Just like in all the scary news stories, movies, and TV shows we see. So, when I would go on a date with a foreigner, if they displayed the slightest bit of anger management issues, that was an immediate deal breaker for me. Now, almost every foreigner I've dated has been super cool, but that's always lingering in the background. And I've heard real stories about this. I know 2 really sweet Filipinas who went overseas and got married and had to escape from seriously fucked up stuff and come back to the Philippines. Usually the stories of Filipinas I know marrying foreigners are great, but crazy stuff happened just enough that is always in the back of our heads. So that's why it's important that you really respect a Filipina's family. Can I say that twice? Guys, it's really important that you respect a Filipina's family. Once you disrespect the family, it's game over. If you respect her family, then that's a green light that you're probably a good guy and she's going to feel a million times safer with you. Fear number 7. Leaving or getting me pregnant and disappearing. It's no secret that foreigners come and go all the time. And most foreigners who visit the Philippines are only here for a few weeks at a time. That can be a really good thing or a really bad thing. It's a good thing at the start of the relationship because it makes it a lot less scary to go out on a date. If the guy ends up being a dud, then we know at least he'll be gone soon. But if the guy turns out to be great, it's a major bummer that he has to leave. And even worse, what if we really click and then he leaves and I'm pregnant and I never hear from him again? So my advice would be for foreigners to play both sides in this case. At the start of a relationship, you'll make it less scary for a Filipina if you give the impression that you're only in town for a short amount of time. But as the relationship progresses, and if she's giving you clues that she likes you, then you need to switch gears to give her hope that there's potential for your relationship to work in the long run. Tell her when you can come back next. Give her an idea of what she could expect. Because if you just leave everything vague, then she's gonna quickly see you as a pump and dump kind of guy, and that's not what you want. Let me conclude by saying that these fears are why dating foreigners is so exciting for Filipinas. It's risky, it's mysterious. There's tension that builds up, and when it gets released, it feels really good. So use this mystery and this tension to your advantage. The worst thing you can do to ruin the magic is to start speaking Tagalog and act like you know a lot about the Philippines and talk about how you want to buy the house you saw for sale down the street. Ugh! Guys, don't be that guy. In the words of Vince Vaughn in the movie Swingers, the bunny is scared. The bunny is scared of you. And you're like a big bear man. Now, look it. I don't want you to be the guy in the PG-13 movie everyone's really hoping make it happen. I want you to be like the guy in the rated R movie. You know, the guy you're not sure whether or not you like yet. You're not sure where he's coming from. So basically, be the foreigner she's fantasized about meeting. And that foreigner is mysterious, brave, independent, wealthy, fun, adventurous, confident, and a little naughty. Ooh, yes. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, then you might consider signing up to get a free copy of my book, Irish's Black Book of Game, that I'll be releasing on Amazon later in 2025. You can sign up to get a free digital version of it when it's released by clicking the link in the description below. And as usual, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for the good luck of the Philippines.